Hi, in this video, we'll be looking at unit rates. Now, before we can look at unit rates, we have to figure out what a rate is. A rate is just a ratio that has two different units. A unit rate tells us the rate with a denominator of 1. And that's really useful when we're comparing numbers, and you'll see why. Okay, so in this example, we know that it's going to cost $66 for 12 people. But we want to know what's the cost for one person. So if we put this down as a ratio, as a rate, we'll get that $66 is the cost for 12 people. Again, this is a rate because we have in the numerator dollars, in the denominator people. All right, but we want the cost for one person. So the question is, how much will it cost for one person? Now, in order to get 1 over here, we have to divide by the number in the denominator. So we're going to go ahead and divide that denominator by 12. But whatever we do to the denominator, we also have to do to the numerator. And we have to go ahead and divide that by 12 as well. So when we divide the numerator by 12, we are going to get 550. Now, notice that is a decimal, and that's completely okay. So when you're trying to find a unit rate, it's completely okay to get a decimal or a fraction. And we will get a decimal or a fraction sometimes because we are dividing by something that's not necessarily a common factor. So always in these questions, when you're asked to find the unit rate, always divide by the number in the denominator. But of course, you have to divide the number in the denominator by our denominator and also by our numerator. And that's how you find the unit rate. So in this particular question, we actually have the answer now. We see that the cost per person, or the cost for one person, is $5.50. All right. So this is useful because we can see how much it costs per person. So if we were charging for this party, we would probably want to charge more than $5.50 so we can profit. See what I mean? All right, another use is to be able to compare. Like, for example, you want to compare deals from two different stores. You can use the unit rate to compare prices. Let's take a look. Okay, so in this question, we see here that we can get 3.5 pounds, that means pounds, of chicken for $6.55 at Walmart. And at Food Mart, we can get 3.3 pounds of chicken for $6.20. Now, if you look at these numbers, it's really difficult to tell which one is the better deal. So in order to really know and really be sure about which one is the better deal, we can find the unit rate, meaning we can find the cost of the chicken for each pound, the cost per pound of chicken. All right, so let's do Walmart first, and then let's do Food Mart after. All right, so Walmart is selling the chicken at $6.55 for 3.5 pounds. Now, as we spoke about earlier, you want 1 in the denominator, so we can go ahead and divide the denominator by the number that is in the denominator, but we have to go ahead and do the same thing to the top. So because we had 3.5 here, that's why we're dividing by 3.5, both in the numerator and denominator. And when we do that, we get 1.87 approximately, I believe it's rounded to 1.87 for 1 pound. So the cost in Walmart is $1.87 per pound. Now we can go ahead and do the same thing for Food Mart. All right, so here we have Food Mart on this side, and the cost at Food Mart is $6.20 for 3.3 pounds. So now we can go ahead and divide the numerator and the denominator by 3.3. And again, that's because we have 3.3 right here in the denominator. And when you do that, your answer rounds to $1.88 for each pound. Now, that is not a very big difference. So let's write that down, 1.88 or $1.88 per pound. So that's not a very big difference, but you will get the better deal at Food Mart, but only slightly. So if Food Mart is super far away and you're going to drive out all your gas, then you might want to pick Walmart. But if they're both very close by and you're going to buy a lot of chicken, you're going to end up saving money at Food Mart. And that's it.